on sports. Four Guys on Sports starts now.
Go tell it on the mountains. The Cleveland Browns have won. One more time. Go tell it on the mountains. Over the hills and everywhere. Yes, go tell it on the mountains. The Cleveland Browns have won.
Go tell it on a mountain.
Yes, sir.
Hype in Brown Town.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah,
We
I had. There you go.
we had quite a game there, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
There.
Why am I distorted like that? What the hell's going on with this? Anyway, I had to play that. I've been waiting all week to play that.
It's all season.
Season.
It was quite a game. And I'll tell you what, the ones that really impressed me was Shador. They kept
Agreed.
saying he wasn't no good and all this other crap. Hell, he did better than any of them. My audio sound all right to you guys?
Man.
It's a little low, but it's okay. But yeah, it's a little low. Like your volume need to come up.
You guys are, sounds like you're clipping. Hang on a second here.
I can hear you. It just doesn't sound.
All right, that's there. That's good. Let me take and switch microphone feeds here and see what happens. Oh, that's the way it should be. I don't know. Let's continue a little bit here. Maybe I can bring it down otherwise. Anyway, that you are right. What the hell's going on here? The audio's low. Audio, hello. I wonder.
I mean, it's still good though.
Yeah, it's good, but it's just a little on the low side. I'm watching it through the meters here. You guys go ahead and talk for a minute. Let me
okay.
dink around here.
Okay. You know, I want to say this about that game. The Browns, of course, defense has been good all year. With the challenge of offense being horrible, of course, your defense is always on the field. Man. But defense was great, and the highlight was the plays this kid made. Shador made plays. He made some big plays. Now I'm gonna say this: that Judy, man, that dude.
Yeah, but he made a couple
Somebody
rookie
run him out of
mistakes.
town.
That kind of bothered me. The rookie mistakes kind of bothered me. You had that one where he thought he was already in the end zone, and ends up dropping the damn ball. But other than that,
Judy. Sometimes, but and I have to say this also: if I can only imagine if this kid Shador had some really top-notch receivers around him now, it'd be insane. I think this kid you really see some things because he played a heck of a game. Considering, let's be honest, that receiving core is not one of the better ones anyway. So in that, watching them play, I'm just hoping, more success to this young man. I think in time, 8 will, but the first big mistake he makes or the first mistake he makes, man, they're going to be ready to run him out of town. I don't think the tolerance level is going to be as much for him as it is for Gabriel, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, but do you think they're audio hello there? We getting close there? I sound louder.
Yeah, sound a little louder.
Yeah, okay.
Let's take this up to 12 because I think that's where I used to run that. I'm gonna, as you can probably tell, the work I've done isn't completely done yet. Audio,
We hear you.
hell, audio there. I'll take that down too. That's good enough. All right, that I think that fixes
Yeah,
that
it's
part.
better.
You when you do stuff like this, it's hard to get it unless you're on the air with somebody listening. It's hard to get it right. But anyway, getting back to the subject there, I thought Shador did a pretty good job. Is he the quarterback of the future? At least 50-50. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think it remains to be seen. In that organization, it's tough to be the quarterback of the future. And my personal feeling is at some point they're going to lose him.
Yeah, his old
Because
man don't want to be
as he
here.
gets the time to shine, yeah, as he gets the time to shine, and I don't think he's totally welcome there, he'll be gone. And somebody's going to need a quarterback, and they're going to have to play this kid. And, just watching him, and it's unfortunate that it's fortunate and unfortunate at the same time. Deion Sanders is his dad, so there's something around with the league, not, I guess, want to teach Deion Sanders a lesson. And it's a shame that his kids got to suffer in the midst of that because he hasn't really, it's not his fight.
Yeah, then that's exactly right. I think that that meddling, especially with the kid being over 21 years old, I you could talk. I could give you about a week to talk about this, but when it comes down to it, I think they did all right, but I think I think his old man getting in that is probably why he didn't draft to the fifth round too. I don't think it had anything to do with his talent. I think it was his old man.
And, and that's what I'm saying. But I don't know what it is between him and NFL owners that, what is it, is what I don't understand.
Yeah,
Do
that's
I
sometimes
remember Vince Young? Remember Vince Young when he was a University of
Oh,
Texas
yeah.
quarterback? I think he had some of the
Mm.
same problems that Shador is going to face. He went to the Tennessee Titans, as many of us will recall, and was very successful. But his
Mm-hmm.
coach didn't want him. Jeff Fisher made it abundantly clear. No, I don't want Vince Young. That's not my kind of quarterback. And apparently, the owners pulled a similar stunt with Jeff Fisher that the Haslams are doing with Kevin Stefanski. It looks similar in a lot of ways. The only way I can see that Shador is going to be able to quiet people down is if he keeps winning. Even his old man would have to say, "Hey, that's number one. We want to win. We want to have victories." And that, to me, he's not brash, or he wasn't as brash when he was a player, but he just said, "Hey, I'm going to let my work do the talking for me." And that was one of the things that I noticed in that game was, you're right. It looked kind of sloppy. It looked kind of disjointed, but I mean, it worked against a team that was at the Ravens, or just pick right. And the another thing I wanted to pick up on Jerry Jeudy, if anybody remembers, he was formerly with the Denver Broncos, and I think that ownership was. I think that the coaching staff saw a lot of the same things that we're seeing right now. That's he doesn't focus. He drops a lot of balls. He might have a lot of talent, but the Broncos, especially with John Elway as part of the brain trust, said, I don't want that. I want people who are focused on the job and can do it properly. And that's probably the reason why he came to Cleveland and didn't stay in Denver. You eventually catch on to people's, their deficiencies. They come out and.
Boy, we are chopping up something fierce today.
Yeah, I noticed it with Evan.
Be athletic quarterback who's really smart.
Yeah, for anybody that's listening, that feedback, I don't know that choppiness is. I don't know of anything we can do about it. So that's the way it goes, I suppose.
Yeah. Man, Evan, you made some valid points there. And with that being said, that was a good analogy there, or a comparison right there, the whole Vince Young thing, because Vince Young we saw him in college. He put that team on his back and won the national championship. And sometimes you are two things I notice. An NFL coach figures out how to coach the talent he has. Okay. Then the other side of it is that sometimes you fall into the wrong system or the right system. It's the perfect situation, And when you look at, you have these quarterbacks or these coaches, and it's not as much of that now because the name of the game, like you said, is to win. Okay. But these quarterbacks with all this athleticism, they're realizing that, man, this is a good thing. This is a great thing when you have a quarterback with a lot of athleticism. And if nothing else, you put putting butts in seats, you selling tickets. When you have this playmaker type quarterback, this guy that can not only, throw the ball, he can run and do these things like that. So which is good. And I think with Shadir is he's going to, and it's sad because this right here. I don't know how successful he can be there in Cleveland because, first of all, you've got guys like Jeudy, and I'm not a Jeudy fan because of the things he does. Because you see, this cat can play when he decides to play. He's a good ball player when he decides to play, but he's not always that dude. Now, great players, sometimes they have bad games. This dude, some of his stuff is self-inflicted. I don't know how else to put it. I guess other than to say self-inflicted, some of the mistakes that he makes, his attitude, from what we've seen over the years. So for Shadir, I'd like to see this. Could you imagine if he had a Chase and a Higgins, out there to throw the ball to? Or Lamb Pickens type,
Sure.
I think this kid would be very successful. But I just don't. It's going to be tough here, people. Because the other thing is, what I keep hearing is they say, oh, arrogant. What I've seen from the cat, he's handled his situation with class because he believes, as he should, any athlete, should believe that, hey, look, I'm better than this. I shouldn't be here on the sideline, but I got to go through it. And he's going through it. So I'm just happy to see that one.
Yeah. I agree with everything that's been put out thus far. But the one thing that I would like to add is this, that I think that Shedeur is already a fan favorite in Cleveland. And so, because the fans want to win. And the fans, a whole lot of them are already familiar with his body of work from college. So most folks couldn't really understand why he wasn't being introduced to the field earlier on. Not necessarily that, that you start him or this, that, or the other, but it's just doing your due diligence. It's a business, and you have to see what you have. Is this an asset in my inventory, or is this a liability? You just have to know. I mean, it's just, it makes no logical business sense whatsoever to have had Shedeur there and never allowing the youngster to get reps, with the starting unit. It just makes no logical sense because he's a rookie, and the other guy, Dylan, is also a rookie, and you had this great deal of uncertainty there with respect to how you were going to move forward in your quarterback selection. So you were forcing one situation to the detriment of the other. And now you're forced to play him. And when you think his performance was far more than admirable when you consider that he performed with 3 days of practice
and not a
and won a game.
And not a one of them against the or with the first squad. He never took a snap with them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In preparation for his game for against the Raiders, that was 3 days of prep with the starting unit, and so it's amazing what he was able to accomplish with everything that's been put on the table. And as it relates to his receiving core, what my take is on them is that, yeah, I do see talent, but the difference between a starting receiver and a backup receiver oftentimes is spelled out in consistency. And the reason, when Jerry plays and you see good and you see bad, those things that make you raise your eyebrows, that's because he's really not a starting receiver. He's a professional receiver because he has talent and you can see it on occasion. But the difference is those starters, more time than not, they're you know what to expect from them. You do not know what to expect from Jerry. You do not know what to expect. He's just simply not a starting receiver. Neither is anybody. He doesn't really have a starting receiver, and let alone forget call him a number one. He's just not a starter. He's a backup receiver. And in fact, that's all they have. So until they get some receivers in Cleveland, which is the reason why it made no sense the way Cleveland went about the business of developing Shedeur and or Gabriel, was because you're playing now. You still got good draft. You still got good draft picks. You have in terms of where you're seated, right? You need to know what you can do. And if you feel like, hey, I don't like Shedeur, as an organization, okay, let him do what he do, raise his draft capital, and then, you can get something back, and then you can even get more for Dylan. But now if you see that what you have in Shedeur, you say, you know what, based on closer observation, I think this guy could be it. Let me see how I can get some receivers to add in the mix. I've got great running backs right now. Okay, I got a great defense. Okay, I need to get some receivers.
Let's
And so that's it.
let's take this in a little hypothetical direction. Audio hell, what the hell happened to that now? Let's take this a little hypothetical. All right, if right now as it sits, say Shador does make it and has a pretty good season this year, enough that you've went away from the thought of um. Hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. We had um, a little bit of background here. Anyway, let's say that Shador does make it, and he's they determine he's going to be the quarterback next year. So what do you've got a couple of number one picks now. What do you go after? Do you go after receivers? Do you go after defensive linemen? What do you do? Because you're just the reason I'm asking that is like with um, Miles Garrett, he's not going to be around forever. I think his career's probably a little over halfway done. And if he stays with the Browns, we may have him another couple of years. But what are you going to do afterwards? You need to get some development somehow and um, get it to where it's reasonable that you can actually take and play him or play somebody new. Uh, you've developed the other side of him. Now you're going to have to start working on the Garrett side. What do you replace him with? The man's a rocket, man. You know, he's going to be hard to replace. But what do you do in the next draft if you decide you've already got your quarterback? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Well, you got to make some. It depends on what's available out there versus what you honestly believe you need. I think the urgency is receivers right now for me, but also in that, now keep in mind, sometimes you can do that in free agency. We're looking, for instance, Dallas is a great example. They got Pickens, and he has he's the leading receiver in the league right now. And then the other side of that, also in this, and I'll say this too, Pickens is going to be looking for money next year. So and maybe Dallas can pay him, maybe they can't. They're already paying, Dak big money. Dak is still the top paid quarterback in the league. CDE's got paid very well. And so one of the reasons Dallas lost a different edge rusher in Parsons was money dispute. So let's see what happens there, But to answer your question, Pat, I think the more urgent thing would be to get some receivers around this kid. With whatever quarterback you guys get, whatever quarterback the Browns have, are going to go with. They're going to have to get some receivers because looking at Judy and to say this, Judy is he can be a third option somewhere. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not a starter, but he can be a third option somewhere because his head isn't always in the game. And most of his problem is between his ears. So, but what to do is if it were me, and if Shador, he goes on to have a good season with the in the position he's put in, and let's say he exceeds expectations, does go. We got to get some talent around it. That's my answer.
Here's an additional thought on that too, is that historically, as it pertains to Cleveland's ability to fill out a roster, to have a robust roster, full, complete, both sides of the ball, they really, outside for the little period of time during Baker's early part of his tenure there, have they ever really filled out both sides of the roster?
That's been
And they had it for a little while before Baker really matured.
that's really been a problem the whole time that team's existed. They're either good on the defense or they're good on the offense. It ain't in the last 45 or 50 years since I've been watching that team. It's always been that way. Who the hell's going to put that together? Do you expect Andrew Berry to do it? Hell no, that ain't gonna happen. The one thing that I think, the positive thing that I think happened this year was getting rid of DePodesta. That guy was he was dragging that team down because he didn't know what the hell he was doing, and I'm not so sure that Berry does either.
And what is it? I guess it makes you ask the question: what is it? Is it? I mean, is it? Because you can't say old fashioned because Barry isn't he isn't an old guy. It's like, does he not see the league? I mean, what is it that makes you think that you only need to fill out one side of the roster and that's going to work for you and you just make do? That part, the Cleveland mindset is confusing. And then the other part, is it because Cleveland has such a dynastic fan base, meaning that, hey, they'll show up and support. And I think they show up and support because they've grown accustomed to losing. Like, for example, if we look at the Dallas and excuse me, not the Dallas, the Chicago and Philadelphia game. The Philadelphia fans got so tired, man, they started leaving. Okay, they got tired of just booing, and booing wasn't enough anymore, and they just started leaving. Okay, they sent a message. They sent a message that, you know what, that's not going to get it done. We don't accept that. Meaning that it's not okay. We get it. You're going to lose, okay, because that's what sports is. You're going to win some and lose some, but we need quality out there on the field. Even if we lose, we make winning plays. You just fall short. And I don't know if Cleveland's philosophy is such that that's ingrained, in the leadership there till they understand that you can make winning plays and still lose. That's part of the effort. That's part of the culture. That's what you're teaching and building there. And then eventually those habits translate into winning as you master them. But I don't think that, just looking at Cleveland, it seems like they've lost for so long until, hey, it's like, there's no real expectation for them to win. I don't think that people really, think of it. It's going to the Cleveland game is simply an event. It's not going with the expectation of pushing and standing behind and encouraging, and championing, your team on to victory. It's not that, or at least it doesn't seem that way, because they've been losing for so long. So I don't know.
Interesting point. To say the least. Yeah, I can see what you say. With the Browns fans, the bar is just not that high. Sad to say, but that's kind of where it seems.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's got to be that way. Like I said, the Cleveland philosophy is that of what the old time football teams used to have. You're either going to win it with defense or you're going to win it with offense. And pick one, you know. And the way these picks have been going, you got a hell of you got a hell of a defense there. The damn offense can't score points, and if you can't
Yeah.
score points, you're not going to win. You know,
You're not going to win a whole lot of games.
You got to take and either do one or the other or both. And you see teams like the Eagles, for instance, they're pretty balanced on both sides of that. San Francisco, I watched the other night. They were the same way. They were um, above mediocrity. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But then that's how they won. And
Yeah.
even when you get down to Pat Holmes in Kansas City, it's the same way. You're either gonna your quarter. The thing that makes Kansas City is you got Kelsey in there, and you've got a quarterback he's not great. I wouldn't call him great. I wouldn't call him that bad, but I wouldn't call him great. And then you just, you know, there's got to be a balance there somehow, and some of these teams need to learn how to do that because they haven't yet.
Yeah,
Let me stop you for a second, Pat.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, as I'm trying to figure out how you snuck that one in there. So you wouldn't call KC's quarterback great?
I wouldn't put him up against somebody like Brian Sipe in his glory days. Montana from San Francisco. Those were great quarterbacks. He's not that good, I don't think. If you were to match him up one for one, I don't think he'd win. I think Montana'd take it. To be honest about it.
Okay. And I hear what you're saying, but looking at the quarterbacks of today, and excluding Brady, who's better of the quarterbacks today? Because I happen to think Troy Aikman was a great quarterback, but now Troy Aikman had a heck of a squad around him, and you know, Pat this dude has won games that they wasn't supposed to win. I watched him make plays. He's a guy that in today's league, he's that quarterback that you behind by one score, and if I got Pat at my quarterback, I feel pretty good because I'm gonna say this about KC this year: the defense has played pretty good. The Dallas whooped him. They just flat out whooped him. But the other side of it is this: outside of Kelsey, his receivers just aren't that this year. If he had the receivers that, again, if you can put in those, Chase and Hopkins and what am I trying to say? Well, again, oh boy, here, the Dallas receivers, Lamb and Pickens. I mean, if Pat had those type of dudes, they'd still be winning games.
Yeah, I'm just watching things out of the corner of my eyes here. The
So I
Michigan
kind of got
over
disagree with you on that one.
Michigan just came onto the field over there. I'm expecting this to be one of the best games of the year. I guess we'll see.
I'm expecting this to be a good game.
These damn Michigan buttheads need to get their head back in line. And OSU's the one that can do it. Oh well, that's
lovely game to go to, man.
Yeah,
That would have been a lovely game to have gone to.
boy, they are
Yes, sir.
packed too. I'll bet you there's close to 100,000 people there. Wow. Anyway, what else we're going to talk about? What else is news?
Well, let's talk about these Cowboys a little bit more too, because
Yeah, we can do that.
we
We
didn't
can do
really
that.
touch on them big time. And what they've done, they beat two good teams. You know, in Philly, and I had that one picked and realistically, I was hoping that it was going to be a good game against KC because KC's offense has struggled this year, but their defense has played so well. And the Dallas and KC game, we watched that defense play, and I got to say this: Dallas's defense has ramped up because they were bottom feeders, and with the Demario Overshawn coming back, that helped him on defense because this guy can drop back in coverage. He can rush quarterback. He makes tackles, and this guy, he tore up his ACL and his MCL, and he's back, and he's playing like he had missed a game. And did the acquisition of from Cincinnati, and just I'm watching Clowney out there. He made some play. He had 2 sacks, and Dallas is they're playing much better football. They have been doing it offensively, but they weren't able to put anything together defensively. Kind of like the Browns. You got to play complementary football. You got to have you need a good offense, a good defense, and really good special team. And Dallas is clicking on all cylinders now.
Yeah, I was surprised. Oh, speaking of surprises, how many of us were surprised with old Joe Burrow coming back?
I was.
I was shocked, and as soon as I saw him, I thought there's going to be some hell to pay here. He's going to take, and that Cincinnati's going to win because they really missed him. And from what I heard, they were saying that Flacco was on the trading block again, and of course, poor old Flacco's just sitting there with saying, "Well, I want to play." Yeah, whatever. You want to play, all right. Go ahead and play. Anyway, we'll give us about another 15 minutes, and then the game's going to be on. Okay. They're just now getting onto the field, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good one, I think. I'd like to one of these days go down to something like that. Of course, then again,
circle back for a second here. How do you guys feel about the Cowboys' chances of making the playoffs? If they keep playing like this. The biggest problem I see is they have to climb over a bunch of other teams that are ahead of them.
One of my things is this: because some of it is not totally in their control. Mm-hmm. We need to see the 49ers lose a game or two here. Dallas needs to win out. They're going into they got Detroit next, and who's going to lose tomorrow? I'm sorry, what'd you say, Nate?
49ers going to lose tomorrow.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who are they playing?
Yeah, who are they playing? Let's hear this one. I've got my ears open.
All right, I guess I've got to bring the schedule up since that's
I know who they're playing.
It's Brown Town. You know what I'm saying?
I know who they're playing. And Nate thinks that the Browns are going to win?
Yep. They newfound life.
Nate, hopefully, I hope you're right. And to go back to this, Dallas, okay, looking at the rest of their schedule, they have Giants again. They have Commanders who aren't played with. I don't know what happened there. That's a dumpster fire. Giants a dumpster fire, and I forget who. It just looks like the other games are more winnable than the Lions game. But I don't know about Detroit. I just don't know about them. And they're playing there. You know, it's a road game too. So there's some possibility to answer your question. There is probability. I'm gonna put it at about 25%, or maybe a little better. Maybe I may be overly optimistic, but if they can beat them, and we can get 49ers lose a game or two, and we saw what Philly did, Dallas may make the playoffs. That is crazy, you know. They could with 9 games. They can make the playoffs with win 9 games. But hopefully they get 10 games. But that just goes to show you what football is like this year. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody's running away with it, but they really aren't.
Yeah. That I think if you guys wanted to do some picks this week,
Yes, sir.
let's do that. That will surprise everybody.
I'm feeling pretty good too.
We have our.
I think Evan and I both did pretty good.
Just for the record, I had 100%. It's unfortunate I wasn't on.
Yeah, I had 150%.
So, okay. So.
Hey, okay. Since you want to go there, I had 1,600%.
Go ahead. All right, Donald.
Oh God!
Let's not turn this political. You should know it is funny.
Oh man! Hey man, I just y'all gave me the loaded gun. Y'all handed me a gun with bullets in it. I took my shot.
All right, I'll leave it up to our statistician Evan.
If my computer would just load the games that are coming up this week. Oh, good grief!
But
well, I may have to depend on what I see here, which is at the top. I'll just give it a whirl based on this. These are the 1:00 games that I'm looking at right now. The first one up is Los Angeles at Carolina.
LA for me.
How about them Panthers?
They're looking better. I agree. Still giving the Rams the nod.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Okay.
I'm going North Carolina.
One we've all been looking for. Okay.
I'm going Carolina too. I'm sorry, y'all.
You're going the Panthers. You're going to go with the Panthers.
Yeah, Nate and I both.
Okay.
Well, when you
Next
guys,
up,
when you guys take and get your crying towels out, I won't. I'm not going to say a word.
Pat, come on, man. This past week, I made you say uncle, man. I told you. You should listen to me.
When I walked over to the phone and I thought, I wonder if Gordon said anything. Oh, there it is.
Okay, here's the next one up. 49ers at Browns.
You already know how I'm rolling.
Man, Nate, You know what
Hey,
though?
let me give
That
y'all
defense
something
is
to think
good
about
enough.
real quick. I want y'all to remember how sorry Cincinnati was before Joe Burrow took the reins. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about his rookie year.
Mhm.
It's something about a person coming with that kind of moxie and that energy. And keep in mind, Burrow had that. Remember, Burrow didn't even want to go to Cincy,
Mhm.
right? He didn't even
Right.
want that, right? And so when you think about his quote unquote his personality and his attitude and all this, that, and the other, one could have easily said, man, he's too arrogant, he's this, he's that, and he's the other. But it's just that's man his makeup. He's a believer. And that's what Shadur is.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. There's you know, people call that arrogant and cocky, but again, confidence, you know, and it depends on who it is. Because Baker, as Nate, you and I have said before, Baker was a very confident person, or arrogant, if you will. But and he had to just do some growing up.
Yeah,
He
but he
just
had a lot
wasn't
of immaturity mixed in with
right,
his.
right. He really did. But to say that, I hear you, you know, and reason I'm gonna pick Cleveland is this right here. 49ers offense isn't that great now. And I think Cleveland has one of the better defense. And I think them boys gonna be riding high. And they gonna defense gonna play their tails off. And down the stretch, can Shadua make enough plays to win the game? So I'm taking, and they in Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland.
I need to see more. I'm not a believer yet. I need to see more. And until I see more, I'm going to have to go, chalk here. So 49ers for me.
And I understand what you say. I understand that, Evan, because
Mhm.
we hadn't really seen a whole lot of this
No,
kid.
I mean,
But
just
I just
one week and part of a second.
Just
right.
remember this, Evan.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. 100%.
Hmm.
So I'm going for 100% this time too, y'all.
Okay, next game up. Texans at Colts.
Wait a minute. I didn't.
Oh, that's right, Pat. What's yours?
Never picked. Yeah.
It's this to me is one of those real heart games. You know,
Mhm.
my heart wants it, but my mind says no way.
Mhm.
So I don't like San Francisco, but you got to pick the better of the two, and I just don't. What
I
the hell? I'll
understand.
take the Browns.
You're going with your heart this time. Okay.
Yeah.
We've all picked that one. Next up, Texans at Colts.
Oh man, that should be a good one.
A good game. I'm rolling with Texans, even though that's more of a heart pick there, you know. But I'm rolling with the Texans, you know. But the Texans hadn't, the Texans this year is not the Texans, last year. But I'm rolling with the Texans.
I, I'm taking the Colts.
I'll take the Texans.
I have to admit, I saw the Texans game versus the Bills the other week, and I was impressed. They have the number one defense, so they are starting to show something now. They were a little bit like the Browns at the beginning of the season. They were, flatlining on offense, but they've come around. Colts are still a very good team, but they are they're new to this, at least under Daniel Jones. So I am going to go with the Texans here too.
I think you guys are probably making it the better choice between them. But because I just I and the other part of that is that I'm not really a Daniel Jones fan, but they just keep finding ways to win games, you know, that I wasn't expecting for them to win. So that's why I'm taking the Colts.
Okay. All right, next one up. we've all picked here, I think, right? Okay. Next up, Saints at Dolphins.
Oh, bottom feeders to the max.
Yeah.
And
That one there, the best way to make your choice on that one is if you have gas, fart and see which way the wind blows it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Well, I'm rolling with the Dolphins, man. But you probably right, Gordy. If I had gas, somebody would test it to see. But you're right.
Gotta be scientific about that one, man. I think I'm gonna go with Miami.
I'll go with the Dolphins as well. Same reason.
yeah,
Oh, you have gas too?
Yeah.
well, let's fill up the room.
Yeah.
I'll take the Dolphins too.
Okay. All right. Well, next one is nearly the same kind of deal. Falcons at Jets.
Falcons. Man, Jets is so confused and discombobulated and in and out on quarter. Man.
Okay, Nate. You talked me into it.
Man,
I'm going to Falcons.
You talking about that's the poster child of a dumpster fire. Whew, them doggone Jets. My goodness, man. Good grief.
Yeah, in my book, they are still the not yets. Give me the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, give me the Falcons.
Yep.
Okay, we're all on that one. Next up, Cardinals at Buccaneers.
Oh, Bakertown.
Baker out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's not going to be back, is he?
But what about the Cardinals? Is that quarter? He out too, right? Isn't he? Is he?
I will go ahead and take TB.
You know,
Who's
who's quarterbacking for the Cardinals?
Kyler Murray, I believe. I think he's
back.
He's not out.
I don't remember offhand if he's healthy or not, but I'll go with the Buccaneers myself. Some of the same reasons that we just cited. Pat,
I thought I said I was what, Cardinals.
oh, you're going against.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
You want the Cards? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Up,
out, man. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
you're gonna go with Tampa as well. Okay.
Yeah, Tyler's out.
Okay. Next up, Jaguars at Titans.
Going with the Jags.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the Jags too. Tennessee has not proved anything to me this year.
Nope.
I've the stuff that I've watched them in, and just looking at the record and that they got a lot more to prove. And
Yeah, you're right. Jags.
Going with the Jags as well. It's a clean sweep here.
3-0 Michigan.
Oh, well. Okay. Next up here, these are the 4 o'clock and 4:25 games. Vikings at Seahawks.
I'm going to take the Vikings there. They looked pretty good the other night.
Yeah, me too.
Seahawks are really tough at home. I have to I do like what they've been putting together. Seahawks for me. Nate, if you picked up?
Taking Vikings.
You're going with the Vikings as well. Okay. All right. Next one up here is Raiders at Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah, I think I'll take the Chargers too.
Oh, nobody don't want the Raiders, man. Chargers,
They're all,
man. Yeah.
they're all yours, Nate.
Hey, you
Oh,
got
man.
'em.
Chargers.
Yep. Give me the electric car, boss. Looks like a clean sweep there. Oh, here's another fun one. Bills at Steelers.
Oh,
Oh man.
Bills
You know,
all the way.
Bills, man.
Bills all the way.
Yeah, I think the Bills are due for a bounce back. Again, the Steelers, they will probably win the division. I just the games I've seen them play, I'm not really sold. You know, Aaron Rodgers is not knocking me flat with his play.
You know why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh sucks.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Bills. And you know, the biggest thing about it is I am a Josh Allen fan. I just like the dude. He's just tough.
Yeah, I like him too. Okay, the Sunday night game is up next. Broncos at Commanders.
All right, I want to hear something about the Commanders from Nate.
Oh man, come on, Nate. Tell us that's gonna be a tough one.
That's his favorite team down there.
Chance to go to that game too, man, but I got things going on, so I can't go, and so I had to turn the ticket down. But I don't think the Commanders are in command this year. So,
So Nate taking the Commanders?
Commanders to lose, yeah.
They come with the Broncos.
But that's your team, Nate. Jeez.
Yes,
You're
yeah.
betting against your own team.
No, I just
My goodness, what's this world coming to?
I know they're not gonna win. Oh boy, man, they've lost their way, man. It's hard for a team to find themselves once they've lost their way. They look completely lost. You know.
That was the
I got
Commanders and
Denver,
who?
man.
Commanders and
They
who
look-
else?
They're looking like Ohio State looking right now against Michigan.
Oh, turn this on.
3-0.
Yeah, they about to go in the end zone here. Or if they go for it now, or at least they're going. It's about to be 6-0. If they don't go in the end zone,
Mm-hmm.
this is ridiculous. They threw a pick, and Michigan just they just outmanning them, man.
Bizarre. Okay, back to the game that we're supposed to be picking here. I'm going with the Broncos. Love Sean Payton. Great coach. Took the Saints, who were the Aints for a long time, to the Super Bowl and won. First guy that I can never think of who called for an onside kick. I think it was one of the first plays that he ever did in the Super Bowl against the Colts. So definitely going with the Broncos.
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos too.
Your pick?
Broncos for me.
Okay, Broncos. Okay. And finally, the Monday Nighter. Giants at Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I think I'll take the Patriots too. They surprised me last week. I didn't think they had that much up there.
Giants is more like the midgets.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I like the way the Patriots have come around. Mike Vrabel really, he might actually know how to coach. Yeah, so give me the Patriots.
All right, what's up next?
We can go into next week, which would be the Thursday night game. You want to do that one as
Yeah,
well?
let's do that one as well.
Here, let me call it up here. Oh, this is the fun one. Cowboys at Lions.
Yeah.
I'm going Cowboys. I'll tell you why, though. The Lions, man, they are too inconsistent, man. You don't know which one gonna show up. The Lions, man, is like the lion from the Tin Man. I mean, which one? I need a heart. I mean, you don't know which one gonna show up. And there's literally like two different teams, and I can't roll with them, man. I'm going with the Cowboys. Cowboys got something to fight for. Yeah,
Nate, you talked me into going for Cowboys right there. You just called them the cowardly lions.
Yeah, I think I'll take Cowboys also. The-
Oh my
I
God.
expected I expected the Lions to take that last week, and they all but it just seemed like they weren't even there. So give
it's
me
like they have literally two different teams, man. It's like they can be really
exactly.
good, they can really just not be good.
So we'll take somebody that's going to be there.
Yeah, you're making me believers. Yeah, I guess I'll have to take the Cowboys here. I mean, just based on what we've been talking about here for the last little while, they look better. They do look better, and in this matchup, Cowboys I think just
Yeah.
have the edge. So give me the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Speaking of that, last week, and I know, of course, and I understand why you picked the Eagles, uh, man, it was just did that one catch you by surprise?
Uh, Not really. I'll tell you the truth. I was in Philadelphia with my in-laws for Thanksgiving, and my brother-in-law said, "Oh, jeez. I mean, I grew up around Eagles fans. So, he grew up in the area, so
Mhm.
he was. I think in some ways he's nostalgia for fans booing Santa Claus in some way, but the Bears actually I look pretty solid because I watched the tail end of that game after I drove home from Philadelphia with my father, and the Bears, frankly, I'd say keep an eye on them, to make
Yeah.
the playoffs
Yeah.
because they're leading their division, I think, and
I think
they're
so.
they look like the team the Browns should be. They look like their defense is strong and their offense is coming around. They have a young fella, Caleb Williams, who's starting to show me a little something. And maybe the Eagles are just a little too full of themselves. Maybe they had too much turkey before they went on the field from Thursday, and they looked like
Maybe
they
the
gave away a game
turkey
they probably
state,
should have
they
had.
got the stuffing beat out of them.
Yes. Yes.
That was of course I picked Dallas for that one because they just do that. Dallas and Philly, Dallas and the Commanders. Those teams right there are, you don't know what you're gonna get. One team can be, you know, go in the game 1-7, and the other team go in the game 0-8, and the team 8-0, and the team's 8-0 may lose. They're notorious for splitting because being division rivalries, they are notorious for splitting the the season.
Great.
All right, is that all the picks?
That's it.
On Ohio State comment.
Go ahead.
So, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Ohio State. We were talking about the quarterback. And, since that conversation, we've got to see the quarterback play without the stud receivers. And, he looked okay, but he ain't looked like the same quarterback at all. At all. And then you figure this game, he already threw a pick, which Michigan scored off of. So I was just looking at that, and I do like that backup quarterback a lot because he's a little more versatile to me. But so I don't know. So just now that we pick for those, what do we think is going to happen here in this Ohio State Michigan game?
Ohio State gonna win. This will be may wind up being a slobber knocker, but it's well, so I still got Ohio State to win.
Yeah, I think myself it's going to be probably a 3-pointer, a 3-point game, and I'm hoping Ohio State takes this. They need to get their confidence back over there.
Yeah, I think keep in mind, guys, that in all of sports, this is probably one of the biggest rivalries there is. And there's a lot of college rivalries, but the Ohio State Michigan is bigger than the Texas OU, which is another big one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I believe, despite what Michigan done, Ohio State's going to steal their heart, and Ohio State's going to win by about 14 points. Even though Michigan had a fast start, because what I think is I don't think Michigan can go into the end zone.
They're certainly having trouble with that now.
I think it's going to be all field goals on their side.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Because that defense tightens up in the red zone. If they don't just break a long one.
I agree. I think, yeah, they're due. Let's just put it that way. Ohio State is simply due for one.
And I hope it's a good game because of this right here. What I hear around here in Texas, because teams like TCU are winning and all. I mean, Texas Tech and all. Oh my goodness!
You saw that joke. You finally saw it, huh?
But what I'm seeing is that because Ohio State, the way they're beating everyone, they just say, oh man, they're overrated. They're not battle tested yet. And
Ohio State's down to the 10-yard line, I think.
Inside the 10. Yeah, that run was something right there. And it wasn't so much a juke. It was just more of
they're down to the 4.
And then
it was a hesitation. Right, it was a little hesitation.
That burst.
And this is uncharacteristic. Man.
And they're running it. I missed it a little bit, just a little high.
Yeah, it was a little high, but just, from what we see, usually, man, if it's in the area, man, this guy manages to get it. But, yeah.
That was high. I mean, and he had to put it up because of where the defender was.
Yeah.
He, of course, turned him around, but.
That I didn't like.
That was a catchable ball.
I'm like, bounce that to the outside. After you see that, you touch it a little bit, bounce to the outside, and, you can pick something up. That was a catchable ball. Now I saw it in slow motion. I'm talking about the run.
I didn't see. I'm behind you on that. I think they had that one covered well. Even at that, I think had he gone outside because the way that was developing. But yeah, I think, and I really want to see him get in here. And look at this, the boy. He's gonna get tossed out the game.
Man, what happened with that penalty there? Let's see what happened.
All right, let's. Since everybody's watching the game anyway, we probably have to wrap it up and go.
Wrong room.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Just a reminder for everybody: we will be doing the radioactive show tomorrow night. We've been down for 3 weeks because of some equipment failures and stuff like that, but we will be back. Then again, Monday night is our.
It's gonna be a good one.
Our Monday night, it will be the ham radio show. Then after that, we'll come right back here next week. Next week is the 5th or somewhere about there. the first Saturday of the month. I've got an appointment I got to go to. So you guys want to start a little bit early or what?
Okay, we try that.
Because I got to be out of here by noon. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
I have to be walking out the door by noon. Because I got an appointment at
When you want-
12:30.
What time you want to roll at? Like at 10:30 our time, Pat? 10:30,
Yeah,
11:30?
10:30 would probably work. That'd give me a little bit of time to get all the way out of here.
Okay.
So join us next week at 10:30 in the morning, and
There you go.
we will go from there. 4, 5, 6. Ooh, there's 6 people streaming us right now. Anyway, we'll see everybody next week or in 2 weeks. Yeah, next week. Stay safe and enjoy your holidays, and happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving, and we will see everybody. And we're gone as soon as I can find the out button here. Where the heck did he go? That's not it. There it is. All right, we'll see everybody next week, and have a good evening.
All right.
Oh, come on. That thing didn't play, damn it. Let me see if I did something wrong. I screwed that up. Oh, well. Anyway, I'll go out with the usual then. See everybody later.